Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a compilation of a couple of tips and tricks that I use to get glowing but not greasy skin. I know highlighting and strobing is so in right now, and for my fellow oily girls it can be really tough because we have that natural glow going on already. So over the past couple of months I've come across various tips and tricks and just kind of found things out through trial and error of how I can get glowing skin without looking like a total grease ball. So I hope that this is helpful for any of you other girls with oily skin who really want to partake in this highlighting and strobing craze. So if you'd like to see how I got this look and my tips and tricks, just go ahead and keep on watching. So it has been a really long time since I've done a talk through type video, and yeah, I figured today would be a good day to do it. It's just so hot in my house in the summer. We don't have central air, so it's really hard to do the talk throughs because the fan has to be going in my room for me to not sweat while applying makeup. So the first thing I am going to do is prime my face. I'm just using this NYX Photo Loving Primer. For a while I was using luminous primers, and I noticed that when I was using them that it really accentuated my pores. So just use your normal primer that you love, that you know controls your oils, that diminishes pore size, you know, whatever your problem area is. You can even use a mattifying primer if you wanted to. So for the next step, you are going to need a liquid highlighter. I am using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this is in Moonstone. Now we are going to place this underneath our foundation. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to blend this in with a beauty blender. Now, because we already have the primer on, our pores are already somewhat filled, so we don't have to worry about this sinking in too much. So I'm going to apply this to my cheekbones, really anywhere you want to highlight. So I'm going to do my cheekbones. I'm going to do a little bit above my eyebrows. I'm also going to get my chin, Cupid's bow. And then I do want to add a little bit on my nose, but the Beauty Blender is going to make it way too wide of an application. So I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this on my finger and just place it right on the bridge. You know what? I'm actually going to put this on my eyes too because I have a little bit left over. So now I'm going to apply my foundation. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. foundation serum, and I really like this because it isn't heavy, so for the summer this is perfect. I'm not someone who loves to wear a heavy foundation in the summer, even though my skin isn't perfect and I do have, you know, blemishes and like some scarring. I find this gives enough coverage that I feel comfortable with, but it feels really lightweight on the skin, and even though it's a serum foundation, it doesn't make me really oily. So I'm just going to dot this all over my face, and then we're going to blend it in with a brush. You could totally use a beauty blender if you want to. I just know that we're going to be highlighting other areas of our face, so I don't need a more dewy finish for the foundation. Plus, because this foundation does have a lighter coverage, the brush does help to build it up a bit. So I hope this is picking up on camera, but the highlighter is peeking through where we've placed it. It's not anything dramatic, but it's definitely noticeable, and it gives you that kind of lit from within look. Okay, so now I'm just going to apply concealer as I normally would. I am going to be using the Pro Conceal by LA Girl. Now you can totally skip concealer if you want, if the foundation is enough for you. I feel like concealers can be a little bit heavy in the summertime, especially, but I have like really bad dark circles, so it's definitely a must for me, but if you feel like you can skip it, by all means, go ahead. Okay, so now that we've laid all of our liquid products down, I'm going to go ahead and set my concealer and certain areas of my face with this NYX HD Photogenic Powder. I like this. It's super finely milled. It kind of blurs any imperfections that I have, so I love that. I'm only going to use this on certain areas, so I'm only going to use this under my eyes. So I'm going to put this just in the center of my forehead, and you'll see why in a little bit. Okay, so now that we've mattified and set those certain areas, let's go in with a powder that has a slight sheen to it. I'm going to be using this ambient lighting palette from Hourglass. Physician's Formula also makes an inexpensive powder that does have some sheen to it, and it's the Youthful Wear powder. I'm a huge fan of that as well. I'm going to use this to set the rest of the face. I kind of do like a mixture of like all three of these powders. So I'm going to set where we placed the highlighter underneath the foundation. So that's going to be on top of the cheekbones, on the chin, down the bridge of the nose, above the brows, and on the lids. Feel free to alter where you want to mattify your face according to where you get most oily. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows and apply mascara, and then we will come back and finish up the rest of the face. Basically, the rest of the products I'm going to be using are all shimmery. Because we did mattify a good bit of the face, I feel like this balances it out very nicely. So I'm going in with this e.l.f. Pressed Mineral Bronzer. This is in the shade Beach Bronze, and I'm going to apply this with a pretty light hand. I like this because it's not overly shimmery, but it's not flat either. So I'm actually just using this on an e.l.f. Powder brush as well. These bronzers are super pigmented, so a little bit goes a really long way. Next, I'm going to go in with one of my all-time favorite blushes. This is really neutral, and it's more of kind of like just a very slightly peachy highlight, but this is the e.l.f. blush in Peachy Keen. I've literally mentioned this about 30,000 times on my channel. This has been my all-time favorite blush for I can't even tell you how long. I just love the natural glow, so I am a huge fan. Now for our actual powder highlight, I got sent these I Am Green Minded Strobing highlighters. They're super little. I don't know if this is like a trial size that they sent me or if this is actually like the full size product, but they're vegan and cruelty free, so I'm really excited to try them out. I have the, what is this? The Golden Strobing highlighter, and I'm just actually going to apply this with my fingers. Oh, okay. So these are really concentrated. A little bit goes a long way. Again, feel free to put this anywhere you feel comfortable highlighting. So you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, you have all this shimmery powder on you, that's great, but powder doesn't keep me matte, and I'm gonna look like a grease ball at the end of the day. This NYX Matte Finish Spray is awesome. I actually prefer the one that e.l.f. makes because I find it less mattifying. But if you are more oily, I would try the NYX one because I feel like this does a better job at controlling the oils. This one leaves more of like a powdery finish on the face, where the e.l.f. kind of works like a Fix Plus, but also then mattifies you. It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but unfortunately I can't find my e.l.f. one right now, so I'm going to go ahead and use the NYX. Probably should put my mascara on after I did this, but that's okay. I love these setting sprays. I bring them with me when I go down to Grenada to see Vin, and that is a very, very humid place, and my skin is like usually crazy oily when I'm there, and I feel they do a really great job of keeping me matte so I can add shine wherever else, you know, I want to on my face and not look like a greasy disco ball. For the lips, I also like to opt for something that has a bit of shine, so I'm going to go in with this NYX Butter Gloss. This is just in the shade Creme Brulee, just a nice neutral gloss. Okay guys, so this is my take on the glowing and not greasy look. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. I would love to hear what kind of tips or tricks you guys use to combat the greasy look in the humid summer months. And I guess that is pretty much it. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't. This way you get notified every time I upload a video. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.